There's something magical about the way a sunset spills into a wine glass, how the warmth of aged oak and deep crimson swirls can quiet the noise of the day and stir something long forgotten in the heart. At 76, Margaret still pours 2 glasses every Friday evening. One for her, one for James. They sit in their little sunroom as dusk settles over their backyard, and they talk, not just about the weather or the grocery list, but about the years behind them, the dreams ahead, and sometimes about the night they first met. What if I told you that a simple glass of wine, enjoyed in moderation, with intention, might not only support your heart health and blood circulation, but also reignite something tender and beautiful in your relationship? This is not about alcohol. This is about connection, about life after 60, about intimacy that deepens, not disappears, about the stories hidden inside a glass, and the lessons only the elderly can teach us about love, resilience, and the power of staying open. Let's explore the 4 types of wine that support not just physical health, but emotional intimacy, and discover the life lessons that come with every sip. The heart remembers. Did you know that moderate wine consumption has been associated with improved blood circulation and heart health, especially red wines rich in antioxidants like resveratrol? But here's the truth. What improves circulation also has the power to improve connection. Good blood flow helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to every part of the body, including those that support physical closeness and touch. It's not just about function, it's about feeling, about waking up again, alive, loved, desired. But beyond the biology, wine has always been about presence. It slows us down, it softens the edges, it brings us back to the moment. And after 60, that's where real intimacy lives, not in perfection, but in presence. Red wine, the wine of the heart. Pinot Noir, light, earthy, and rich in resveratrol, is often considered the healthiest of red wines. It supports circulation, reduces inflammation, and helps keep arteries flexible. But that's not the only reason to pour a glass. When Harold turned 68, he and his wife June found themselves distant. Not because they didn't love each other, but because life had grown busy with grandkids, medications, and routine. One night, June pulled out a dusty bottle of Pinot from the cabinet. She lit a candle, played the old record they used to dance to, and they talked for hours. They didn't solve every problem, but they remembered how to look at each other, and that changed everything. Life lesson: romance is remembering. It's not always wild. Sometimes, it's a quiet glass of Pinot and a familiar hand reaching across the table. Dry rose, the wine of friendship and flirtation. Dry rose is more than a pretty pink drink. It contains polyphenol and flavonoids that support healthy blood pressure and circulation. Light on sugar, crisp on the palate, it brings a touch of summer to even the grayest days. When Eleanor became a widow at 72, she thought her days of feeling beautiful were over. Then her friends invited her to Rose Fridays. They'd gather on the porch, share stories, laugh too loud, and wear lipstick again. One evening, a friend raised a toast to being seen, to being alive, to still having fire. And Eleanor, with her glass in hand and laughter in her heart, finally believed it. Life lesson: intimacy isn't always romantic. Sometimes it's in being witnessed, in feeling alive in your own skin again. Cabernet Sauvignon, the bold, aging love. Cabernet Sauvignon is deep, robust, full of tannins and antioxidants. It doesn't whisper, it announces itself. And perhaps that's why it's perfect for those who've learned not to shrink as they age, but to stand boldly in who they've become. Daniel and Marie had been married 43 years. They'd weathered storms, illness, betrayal, grief, but they'd also learned to rebuild. On their vineyard anniversary trip, Marie sipped a Cabernet and laughed. "You know what this tastes like? Strong, complex, sometimes a little much." They clinked glasses, not because everything was perfect, but because they were still choosing each other. Life lesson: aging love is like a bold red. It doesn't try to be young again. It just grows deeper with time. Sparkling wine, the playful soul. We often reserve sparkling wine for celebrations, but maybe we should drink it simply because we're alive. Dry sparkling wines like champagne or prosecco are lower in sugar than many think and can support nitric oxide production, which enhances blood flow. But more than that, they make us feel light. Jack was 70 when he remarried. His new wife, Elena, brought prosecco on their first date and toasted to silver-haired beginnings. They laugh about it now, But that moment reminded Jack that life doesn't end at retirement, can still surprise you. Life lesson. Joy is intimate, laughter is healing. Sparkle isn't just in the wine. It's in the eyes of someone who still believes in magic. Moderation, a sacred balance. Now, a gentle reminder. While wine can have health benefits, it must be approached with care. Too much can harm the very things it's meant to help. Always consult with your doctor, especially if you're on medications. And most importantly, drink for connection, not escape. Wine isn't the healer, it's just a vessel. You bring the healing with your presence, your stories, your willingness to stay soft. In moderation, wine becomes a ritual of reconnection. Intimacy after 60, a new beginning. We don't talk enough about intimacy after 60. Not just physical closeness, but emotional depth. The longing to be held, heard, seen. After 60, the body may change, but the need to be desired does not disappear. If anything, it grows more sacred. Lillian, 81, shared this. After my hysterectomy, I thought I'd lost my womanhood. But my husband looked at me one night and said, "You've never been more beautiful to me." And I believed him. That night, I felt more connected than I did on our honeymoon. That's the beauty of aging love. It's not about performance, it's about presence. Life lesson. Closeness in later life is not about youth. It's about choosing each other fully still. Wine as a metaphor for life. Each type of wine tells a story. Pinot for softness, Rose for rebirth, Cabernet for boldness, Prosecco for joy, and together they mirror our lives. Some seasons are dry, some are sweet, some surprise us with notes we didn't expect. But every year adds depth, and every glass reminds us that aging isn't about decline. It's about savoring, about slowing down enough to taste what we've become. Before we close, let me tell you about Irene. She's 84 now. She writes a letter to her younger self every year on her birthday. This year, she wrote, "Dear me at 60, don't stop touching, don't stop trying, don't stop tasting. The world is still wide, the body still wants warmth. And love? Love is still on the table." She folded the letter, poured herself a small glass of Cabernet, and whispered a toast to no one in particular. To the ones still believing, still sipping, still becoming. So here's my toast to you. To the wine, to the wisdom, to the wonder of being over 60 and still full of fire. May your heart stay open, may your hands stay warm, and may your glass, like your life, always be half full.